Okay. Bethany?
Here.
Ray Lee?
Dr. Gamboa?
Howdy, can you hear me?
I can.
Excellent.
Megan?
We're in our lab now, and we're just getting
Megan
our
Brisker?
computers updated.
Okay.
Oh, she's here. She's in the office.
And I've got a smart board,
Megan went to the office.
and I've put that Zoom link on our dry erase so the young men, you have 7 young men in this class right now, actually
Or
8 young men,
AYDEN?
and so they're going
How are
to
you
type in that
pronouncing
Zoom link.
it?
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Okay. Somebody or he's absent? Okay. Anyone that you can call?
My name's Fred, by the way.
I'm Ruben.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Aaron? Garcia? Are you in the cabinet or?
You've got a bright group of young men here. And we also have our counselor here, Miss Hepburn, who's checking on the enrollment status of these students.
Excellent. Excellent.
So
Yes.
we only have one hardwired lab left in this high school. That's where we're at right now. We're all cows or vows or
All wireless these days.
Are you AP?
Yes.
Are you Dylan?
Yes.
so our 9th student just walked in.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Does he need me? Okay. Would you just tell him I'm starting this AP computer? Yeah. Yeah, no, maybe 10, 15 minutes. 10 minutes.
Depending on how fast these update.
This update's taking forever. Are you guys still updating?
I am done updating and I'm trying to use the Zoom link.
Didn't work.
No.
What is a Zoom link?
Is South with us right now, Dr. Gamboa?
Ruben. No, they're not yet. We'll record this, make it available to them, and we'll kind of do another getting acquainted on Thursday.
Okay. You prefer Ruben?
Yes, I do. Dr. Gamboa is my dad.
Okay.
Yeah. Dylan, are you completely have your application done and letter recommendation transcript?
I don't think so. No. What do I need to do?
We're getting our enrollment situation hammered out here.
Good.
Did you apply to UW?
Yeah.
Okay. So did your counselor write you a letter of recommendation? So that's what you need to have done, and they'll just email it to Dr. Rubin.
Sounds good.
And a transcript.
Yes.
You're not on the list.
Did anybody get the Zoom link to work?
Just this for
I don't see your name.
I copied the link, but would there be?
There shouldn't be a problem. Anybody can just type those. Yeah. Of course, it's kind of a hard thing to type, all those strange numbers.
So Hayden?
Yes.
Okay, so
Hayden, Tug, let's make sure I have this copied down correctly. Okay, course HTTPS, semicolon, //.
No, you're missing a slash right there.
Yep. I told you it's a brainy group. The best thing I can do is get out of the way here.
it says these students are
Tug, do we have a marker to fix that? Did you guys see I missed a forward slash? After the J, Tug?
Jacob, Dylan,
Yeah.
Aiden,
Okay.
and Joel.
Did that work?
I just did that.
And then it says these students are missing information about the list. Kind of an interesting list. So I guess
Did that work?
It says I need a meeting ID.
A meeting ID. When I clicked it, it
Okay, so somebody just clicked in. Joel?
Yeah, I'm in right now.
Yeah, Joel's in.
Yeah, I'm in right now.
Yep.
did you ask Dr. Rubin maybe to update if he can this list? Because I got a kid here who says completely done, but then he's also on the list for missing information. So maybe after today, when we get things a little more sorted out, he could resend if any students aren't completely enrolled.
Did you get that?
Yeah, I will do
Okay.
that. I'll send you a list of everybody I have from
That would
whatever
be
schools
awesome.
they're from.
Just because some of these names repeat in different lists, so I just want to make sure we have all the kids where they need to be and their information where it needs to be.
Excellent.
Thank you.
How are you, Mr. Scheid?
I'm good to go.
Okay.
Make sure you see use in this. All right.
Did you have everything for me?
I think so. He's gonna send a list, a new list.
Thanks for your patience, Ruben.
Oh, my pleasure. This is going to be great.
I got up here.
4 kids now.
Okay, yeah, you got Tug,
Tug and Jacob and Dylan
So we can.
Tug, Jacob, and Dylan,
and Joel. Yeah.
and Joel.
/526.
Great.
There isn't slash there. Sorry. I automatically. 717.
Dr. Rubin, if I run down to my office, Mr. Scheid is still with us here, but I'll be right back up. Is that okay?
No problems. Absolutely.
This is a pretty rough group, but I think they'll treat you all right.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Guys, I'm gonna run to my office. Thank you. I'll just leave this here.
Okay.
So I see 7 people now. Is that everybody?
No.
Sure can.
Okay, I think that's everyone. I got 8 people. I think that's what we said. We're coming. Can everybody see what's in the chat window? If you can, please send me a quick notice there. Ooh, 9 now. Okay, so I think that we're going to use the chat kind of as a way for you to get back to me in case something goes wrong with the technology. You know, like, so if you see that I'm trying to talk but you can't hear anything, for example, you can send me a quick, "Hey, you're muted," or whatever. So let me just kind of introduce the class a little bit. The first thing I wanted to be able to do was just to get the technology going. And I'm happy to say that's only taken us 12 minutes. I thought it might take us the full class period, so we're ahead of schedule. So we have a chat running. Obviously, you can hear me. Is that true? You can use the chat to let me know. And the big question, and I just don't know what your environment is like over there. I see that nobody is on video, so I take it that means that there are no webcams on the computers you're using. Is that true? Yeah, okay. We don't need them. It just would be nice to be able to see each other, but we'll take what we can get, okay? And do you have like microphones at all? No microphones. Bummer. Engineering might. I like that. Yeah, we can always borrow some. No, the reason I say that is because if you have a question or something like that comes up, it'd be nice to be able to give me feedback. So we'll continue working on that. Okay. Okay. I kind of hear somebody, but not really close to the computer. Yeah, that's coming all the way around. No wonder it feels so far away. Okay, well, like I said, we'll try to get that worked out. I'll speak to him and see what we can do. Okay, so I'm pretty upfront. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is just be very blunt and very direct here, and kind of address the elephant that's in the room, and that is that delivery-wise, hopefully not content-wise, but delivery-wise, this is probably the strangest class that you're taking this year, maybe that you've ever taken, right? Because you've been going to school, you've been doing classes where you actually go to a classroom and there's an instructor there, and things just pretty much work out. And this is very different. Okay, so I just want to say that I appreciate that you guys are giving this a shot. That it takes a little bit of bravery to do something different, and this is definitely different. So I want to just mention that because I appreciate that you're trying that. I also want to say that one of the other things that's strange about it is the fact that you have your schedule and you're used to your schedule that the high school sets, and UW runs by its own schedule. So here in Laramie, for example, many of the students that go to Laramie High School will take courses at the university, and they're called high school guests, which you are too. And one of the things that we find is that even though we're just a few blocks apart, okay, maybe 20 blocks, the scheduling is so hard just because we go in a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then Tuesday, Thursday schedule. The high school does Monday, Thursday, Friday, one schedule, Tuesday a different one, Wednesday a different one. So it almost doesn't matter what class you're looking at. It's bound to be a problematic. So again, I just want to let you know that I appreciate that that's the case, and we'll work through things and try to be flexible. So one of the ways that I'll try to be flexible is this. Right now we're having a discussion. I'm taping all this. I'm also going to be able to collect the script that's in the chat, and I will post those to the webpage. And I will try to do that for every single class. Sometimes, I might get distracted and I'll forget. Feel free to send me a reminder and say, hey, you said you were going to do this and I haven't seen it. It's like, oh, it's in my laptop. I got to upload it. So I will definitely do that. But that way, if for whatever reason you can't be here in one of these meetings, then at least you can actually replay it at a more convenient time. So, those of you that are going to volleyball or whatever other activity can actually keep up. Okay. I also want to say you have parents that may be wondering what the heck is this class about? Is this really, appropriate? Maybe they're concerned, maybe they're not. In any case, feel free to share my email with them. I'm happy to talk to them. I can do a Zoom, and I will, be able to talk to them and address any questions. So let me go ahead and address the question that's here in the chat, which is, where's the URL where things are going to be posted? So what I'll do is I'll share my screen. So if all went well, you should be able to see my screen now. Let me make sure that I can continue seeing the chat window. There we go. Okay. All right. So this here is actually the web page for this course. Okay. And it's a funky URL. I don't asking you to remember it or anything. What will happen is this. When you are completely accepted into the university and signed up for this class, which hopefully we'll get all that worked out very soon, then you simply go to uio.instructure.com. Okay, and this is the main website that the university uses for keeping track of courses. Okay, so if you come to UW, you'll use this a lot. If you go to other universities, and really, why would you? But if you go to another university, they'll have very similar things. Okay, so like my daughter doesn't go to UW, and they have this exact same application where she's at. Now, the nice thing about this is that when you come here, we'll actually ask you to log in. The username or password are the same username and password that you use for registration at UW. And it knows about what classes you're taking. So you'll see a little tab here that has this class. And you click on that, and that takes you to where we were before. Okay. Now, I have two browsers here. This is Chrome. And I'm actually not logged in to WIO courses in this browser. So you see here is asking me to log in, whereas in Safari, I'm already logged in. That's why I have the two. So if you were to type in the URL to the course, this is where it would bring you. A nice thing about that is that it's open to everybody, so anybody can see what's going on. Again, like I said, I like that kind of directness. And school counselor or teacher or parent wants to see what's going on, they can just go here. They don't have to be registered with UW. They'll be able to see what's happening. Of course, they don't see things like grades and so on, but they'll be able to see what we're doing. Okay. Now, when you are logged in, you'll see this, and you see there's a few more tabs here on the left-hand side than there are on this one, and that's simply because if you're only a visitor looking, then you can't, for example, submit homework assignments and so on. Now, this is the way that you'll submit homework assignments, so it's important that you be able to log into WIO courses, and that's that URL I gave you. And by the way, it's also in the front page of the, oh, that's just wonderful.
Nice. Okay, good. A lot of students are having trouble with the share screen function. It crashed a couple.
Okay.
So just let us kind of recuperate ourselves here.
Okay, well, let me know when you're ready.
Okay. It's okay. It basically, you go to your UW dashboard and then you select it from there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Got it. And that's where you'll post your homework too. And we'll just see the post there. Got it. How many of us are back? Still moved in. Okay. Maybe we can just walk some hugs. Do you mind if we control their
I wasn't in full stream. So can you just get on full screen?
What? You escaped from it?
Jacob just went down. Yeah, it's the program.
Okay, we're still in the process of gathering everyone back up, but I think we can watch from phones because we found out that Zoom has a mobile app. So
Yeah, it does. So now you're on your cell phones, huh?
yeah, no,
I love it. Okay. All right. So let me just continue then. Like I said, this is the way that we're going to submit homework assignments and so on. So it's really important that you be able to come here logged in. And I'm sure that will, we'll resolve who's signed up for the class according to UW and who isn't really very shortly. And then you'll all be able to come to this version of the web page. Okay. Now up here, what you see is essentially my contact information and the times that I'm available for office hours. Right here, those are my office hours for all of my classes. Okay, so primarily I'm going to be seeing students here at UW kind of walking into my office and looking for help or whatever. So I set up kind of a separate office hours here that my students at UW don't know about. And I intend to just be online during those times in Zoom in this exact same link that we're using today. So if you have any questions, if you want to chat, for whatever reason, that's actually a perfect time to grab me. I deliberately made it to go to 3:45 because I figured one time that you might be able to kind of be free from other obligations is after school. If those times don't work, don't be shy about sending me an email and saying, hey, I really wanted to talk to you about something. And we'll find the time that we can do kind of a private Zoom chat. So I'm perfectly willing to do that. Now here is the answer to the question that was in the chat about where things are going to be stored. So it tells you that the recordings of the class meetings will be in the module section. The sections are here on the left-hand side navigation. So just click on modules, and you see week 1. Okay, so 8/28. That was yesterday, right? That's the beginning of the week. And what we're doing is course introductions, and we'll talk about the Snap Hour of Code. These are assignments that I want you to complete, and as you see, they have deadlines. So it's September 4th, September 6th. I'll talk more about those later. But here is where you would you click on that link. It should give you a description of what you're supposed to do, and there should be a link up here that says submit. It looks a little different for me than for you because I have the instructor view. Okay. But that's how you would do the assignments. That's how you turn things into me. Grades, of course, is where you get your feedback. and discussions. These are places where you can just go to and actually post stuff. You can reply. You can say, oh, there's something I want to add to that, and so on. And one of the things that I envisioned this for is for questions that you may have outside of our meeting times. So for example, one of the things I'm asking you to do is to create a video. Let's say you've never done that before and you're like, oh, what should I use? Chances are that one of your friends has a really good idea for how to build that. So right here, we can help each other out. Okay. All right. I'm going back to the home section. Here's the syllabus for the course. Okay. And this is the content. I did not actually write this syllabus. Okay. This is an approved syllabus from the College Board Advanced Placement Program. So I'm adopting the syllabus, which makes it a lot easier to officially have an AP course. And it actually comes from Berkeley. So it's called the Beauty and Joy of Computing Curriculum. And it is the most popular course at University of California, Berkeley. In fact, the guy who teaches it was telling me he has 800 students.
To yours, you get it, because it was only still at 7%. But
okay, so we have a little more intimate section, I think, than the 800 they have at Berkeley. So that's a good thing. These are kind of the policies for this course. Oh, here we go. And again, this is just this kind of the same information you'll find on the webpage. This is just a place for me to be able to say things that are kind of a contract between us. You know, I do want attendance. If you can't make it, please watch the recordings. This is how I grade. This is the same policy that I use for grading college courses. This is an AP level course, so I think of it as a freshman college course, which is something that I'm familiar with. The exams, these are closed book, closed internet, closed notes. Again, that's my policy for college students. Everything you turn into me is the WIO courses, okay? And this is a big deal at universities, more so than in high school, I think. But make sure that what you turn into me is what you did and not what your best friend did. If you have any problems with any of the assignments, feel free to ask for help, okay? You know, I mean, I will give you all the support that you need to succeed, but it eventually has to be yours, okay? Your work. So anyway, so that's the policies that are there. A couple of other things that are in this web page. This link goes to Blown to Bits. That is a fantastic textbook, and we're going to be relying on it quite a bit for half of the material in the course, and I'll explain that in a little bit. This is a link to Snap. This is actually the computer language that we're going to be programming in, and you can just run it right inside the browser, so we don't have to install anything or buy anything. Of course, you can use it in your home computer or anywhere else. This is the curriculum, the Beauty and Joy of Computing, that has every single kind of lesson and activity and all sorts of stuff. So it's pretty useful. We'll be taking things directly from there. And this is a link to the AP exam, CS Principles. So so I kind of want to talk about the AP exam for just a second. Have enough time. So this was actually the first year. This is the first year that the exam has been offered. There's been a more traditional computer science exam, which is AP CSA, and AP CS Principles in its first year actually was about the same size as AP Computer Science A. They're expecting it to double this coming year. So that gives you an idea of how big it is. This is brand new, and it is I want to say that a new way to think about beginning your career looking at computing, and is one of the reasons I'm so excited about it. The traditional way of doing it is to learn how to program. That's what you do in your first semester, and it is you do a lot of activities, programming activities, which may not feel totally relevant. For example, one of the classic activities will be to convert temperature from the Celsius scale to the Fahrenheit scale, and that's nice, except That's not the way that any of our apps work, right? Our apps would actually put up a screen that has a picture and an input field, and they listen to the mouse and all that kind of stuff. And in fact, that's not what we start out teaching. So it can be kind of a disconnect, and you have to trust, you have to believe that eventually we'll get to the good stuff. With CS principles, we kind of get to the good stuff a lot sooner. So I like that a lot more. The other thing that I like is that it's not just about programming, because programming is really important. I mean, is one of the most fundamental things in computers. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But it's not all there is. Computing is not really about programming. It's about solving problems. And
I'm just saying you have to do that.
the hard thing is to kind of figure out. Hang on a second.
Resolution. Is it? Yeah, it is the resolution.
Okay. Well, the hard thing is actually being able to understand a problem and be able to construct a solution. Now, most of the solutions that we construct, we're computer people, is a computer program. But if you don't actually solve a problem, then the program is not very useful, right? Now I'm not implying that you should only write programs to cure cancer. Okay, it doesn't have to be that important. It can simply be I'm writing a program to make life more entertaining, right? Like a game. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But you see, it's all about that other purpose, as opposed to just about I'm writing programming because I program. Okay, so this course is not just about the technical aspects of computer. It's also about kind of the I guess I want to say the impacts of computing, or the way that computing fits in the real world. So we'll kind of try to talk about both, and I really like that. I think you're going to learn a lot about the way computers are used that maybe you never even thought about. Okay, and that by itself is very liberating. So the only bad thing about that is this: some people maybe are hesitant to take on a computing course because they're worried that they're not going to be able to do the programming part. That's technical, that's hard. And obviously you guys aren't in that group, or you wouldn't have signed up for this class, which, like I said, takes a lot of hoops to get into. But you may have friends that have that. And one thing that I'm totally committed to, and that the College Board is totally committed to for this class, is to make sure that there really aren't those kinds of barriers. So if you're interested, we'll be able to teach you how to program. We'll help you. We'll give you all the support you need so that you actually do well. On the other hand, there are some people who love that and who really don't want to have anything to do with the impact type questions. Why is that important? I just want to make sure that my program runs fast. Well, so this course can sometimes get caught in the middle, right? Because some people are afraid of the technical aspects, other people are afraid of the non-technical aspects. But I see that as a positive. I mean, I think we'll all be challenged. And in fact, the two folks who developed it, they're at UC Berkeley. One of them says, and he's the one who teaches it most of the time. He says, I love teaching this class, but I get a little nervous when I come to the impacts, right? And I understand where he's coming from. And the other one says, oh, for God's sakes, you open the newspaper and there's an impact of computing on real life. So that stuff kind of takes care of itself. So that's the background. Okay, so we'll be going through that. Okay. I don't have much time, but let me try to tell you about kind of a motivation for why this course really fits. And the first thing I want to tell you about computing, and you'll have to take my word for this right now, and I'll be hearing from you later in the semester and see how you feel about that. But one of the things that I want to say is that it's intellectually kind of rewarding just in its own right. Okay, and maybe that's coming from my bias that I'd actually like to work with computers and play with them and so on. So it's kind of fun to see what they can do, right? So there's that, right? And that's pretty cool. Of course, it's extremely practical, and it's practical for a number of ways. Like, for example, somebody might come and talk to you and say, well, this is a great possible career that you might consider. And there's a lot to be said for that, right? So that's definitely practical in that sense. It's also practical in other senses. every single one of you, I'm sure, is carrying around a supercomputer in your pocket. And we still call them phones because people in my generation and before would use them to like make phone calls to talk to somebody else. But really, that's not what they are today, right? I mean, they're incredible computing devices that bring the world's knowledge to your palm. I mean, I'm still kind of in awe that that's even possible, but that's exactly what's going on. And in case the world's knowledge is not sufficient, you can also, you know, check videos of cats. You can play games. You can watch TV, although why would you want to? There's all sorts of stuff that you can do, and that's all because of computing. So it's practical, not just in a, oh, I can make a career out of this, but in the, oh, this makes life better for me and for lots of other people, right? So that's kind of neat to see, right? So I kind of think of it as something that's not just to make a living. And if you want to do it with this, that's fantastic, but that's not the goal to me, okay? It's really something that you learn for life. It just makes your life better. So that's part of what I want you to get from this course. All right. So the very last thing that I want to say is that I do have some assignments for you. Okay. And if you go to home, you will actually, oh, sorry, modules, you will actually find that. And what I'd like for you to start, okay? I do not care if you succeed or not before Thursday, okay? This is not due till Monday, but I would like you to start. Take a look at this SNAP hour of code assignment. In fact, you know what? I'm going to move it to be the first one there. And if you click on that, it'll tell you what I want you to do. So here's a link that I want you to follow. And this is, oh, they want me to do it in Chrome, of course. So this is simply a very, very simple introduction to the a programming language that we're going to be using. And this is the kind of thing that we do for an hour traditionally, like in December. So this shouldn't take you more than that. I just want you to walk through it just so that you know what it is that we're going to build, okay? That's pretty much it. Yeah, you know, I just want you to familiarize yourself with the environment. So take a look at it, go through that. When you're done, just take a screenshot, depending on what computer you're in. You know, it might be control print screen or some other way of taking a snapshot. It's actually important that you learn how to do those things for the AP exam. So I'm leaving that up as a challenge. And then just submit it, you know, and again, you can just submit by going to this page here in the course. So that's the assignment that I want you to do. Take a look at the other assignment as well. You don't necessarily have to start on that now. You can do that next week. But what I want you to do is just to give me a very short video, and I'm talking 60 seconds or less, that tells me about yourself. You guys know each other. I don't know any of you. We're going to add kids from other schools, so they'll definitely won't know you, or vice versa. So I like us to be a community. I like us to know each other a little better. So that's one of the ways that we're going to start. Okay. And a not so hidden agenda is that, again, for the AP exam, you're going to need to build 60-second videos. So might as well get used to that kind of process. Okay. I'm going to leave it there because I think I'm out of time. If there's any questions or anything, feel free to put them in the chat, and I'll try to answer them. I'm going to stop my sharing here. All right.
Is he done now? Just about, yeah.
Yes, unless there are questions or whatever. I think this is the time that your class normally finishes today, right?
See, we had it up there before.
I thought it was 2:41.
45.
45. Okay, wow. Good. We have 4 minutes then. Okay, so yeah, I see questions about, I mean, in structure, it says I'm not enrolled in any classes. That's what we're trying to resolve right now. All of you will be enrolled as soon as we get all the paperwork worked out. So don't let go of that. I'll work with administration here and your counselors will work over there to make sure that all this gets done. Other questions?
Why do we use Zoom instead of like Google Hangouts or Skype?
Good question. Actually, I think it just comes down to familiarity. I mean, UW started using Zoom last year, and I've used it to run a couple of distance courses. So like I ran one of my college courses this way last year, and professional development for teachers with it as well. And it just worked. So we're doing it. I actually like something else called Adobe Connect, which is very, very nice, but that one is a lot more expensive. So we're not using that anymore.
Well,
So-
Ruben, I appreciate your patience today, and I think I speak for these guys when I say we're excited about the class.
Well, I hope so. And honestly, I hope you're even more excited at the end of the class, because
Yeah.
that's kind of what I want to see is people get excited about computing.
Well, Ruben, if you need to sign off, I think we're wrapping up here.
Okay. Well,
All
I'm
right.
gonna send Joel a quick note, and I'll sign off.
If you
Bye-bye.
I gotta have something to show to. Well, yeah, he can go because I just gotta get this working.
Okay.
If I can make it, yeah, we're good.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Scheid.
Yeah.
It's great when the computers fail in the computer class.
You think it'd be a good class?
This being the C day, it took me a little longer to get all the way up from 3D to
How will this work?